welcome to the channel. This is my 2022 Volkswagen GTI. This is the S trim, which is the base model in the GTI lineup. Basically how the trim levels work is S is the base model, SE is like the mid-level trim, and then Autobahn is the highest end trim. In this video I want to go over why the S trim I think is the best trim to go with, and why I specifically chose the S trim for my circumstance. So number one, I want to start off with like the nice standard features that it comes with. And this is both interior and exterior. All GTIs come with a lot of nice standard features. So first off, I want to start up here in the front. So if you guys are familiar with GTIs, you'll know that the Autobahn and SE trims have nicer headlights, but these headlights are still LED and they still do a good job lighting up the road. I do wish they lit up a little bit wider on the road, but they do a good job lighting up the road. And then you also get LED fog lights. And if you guys can't tell, it does have front parking sensors even on this base model trim. Coming along to the side here, we have red painted brake calipers and these really nice 18-inch wheels that are standard on GTIs. And then you get body colored mirror caps and these nice turn signals on the mirrors. All right guys, in the back here, you can see we have full LED taillights on all trims. Looking at the back of the car, there is nothing to tell apart this car from an Autobahn trim. They all have rear parking sensors. They both have backup cameras. They have these really cool exhaust tips. So everything is pretty much the same. The only way you can tell an Autobahn or SE from a base model from the outside is that the base model does not have a sunroof, and then the headlights are a little bit different. Other than that, they pretty much look the same. Next up, I want to go inside and show you guys some of the nice standard features on the inside as well. So that'll be number two, is the really nice standard features on the interior as well. All right guys, go ahead and start it up. All GTIs come with push button start. Has a really nice sound. So this digital screen in the middle here is standard on all GTI models. It doesn't matter if you get an Autobahn or, okay. It doesn't matter if you get a Autobahn or a base model, they all come with this really nice digital display. And then the base model has a little bit of a smaller screen than the SE and Autobahn. Those ones are like up here, they're a little bit bigger, but this screen is still touchscreen. It still has Apple CarPlay. It still has, you know, obviously FM radio and all that stuff. And another thing that's really cool is the heated seats, and it also has a heated steering wheel. That is all completely standard on all GTIs. Another thing I want to go over is these cool drive modes that are standard on all GTIs. So you get Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom. Custom, you can choose like if you want the steering to be nice, or the, or I should say the steering to be stiffer, softer, the shifting of the transmission, all that stuff. They all come with this really nice leather wrapped steering wheel with a cool little GTI badge on it. They all come with these really nice pedals down there. Hopefully you guys can see it. And then at night, it has really nice ambient lighting. Again, completely standard on all GTIs. This frameless mirror is a option on the S model, and I have that option. So this is really nice as well. You can also program your garage door opener there. Full LED lighting on the inside. Like I said, even for the base model. It also has a LED glove box light as well. Wireless charging pad in here as well. This little area right there can be a wireless charging pad. So as you guys can tell, I mean, the SE and Autobahn, you can get leather seats on the SE, and the Autobahn comes standard with leather seats. So that is one difference. It also has leather like right here. And then the sunroof, obviously I don't have the sunroof, which I'm glad I don't, but that's another thing that the SE and Autobahn come with. But other than that, the interior literally is exactly the same as the higher end trims. This is all soft touch, the dash is soft touch. It's not like they cheaped out on materials or anything for the base model. The only major difference, like I said, is this little like screen in the middle here. And some people actually like the base screen better because it still has a physical volume and tune knob, whereas the other one has that like touch sensitive like temperature and volume and stuff right there. Going on to that, I also want to talk about the standard like safety features. So like I said, it does have front and rear parking sensors. It does have a backup camera. And then this car has adaptive cruise control, pre-collision assist, a blind spot information system. It also has a lane centering assist. So I can literally put on adaptive cruise control on the highway and the car will literally drive itself. All right guys, for number three, I want to talk about the performance. So when you get the base model trim, this is technically the lightest trim of all the GTIs because it has the 18-inch wheels. not the 19s, which I'm assuming are probably heavier than these ones. And it also doesn't have any sort of like power seat bottoms and stuff like that to add weight to the car. And if you look here, the engine, even on the super high-end Autobahn trim, is exactly the same as the engine on mine. Still has the 2-liter 4-cylinder with 241 horsepower, and they still have the same 7-speed DSG if you get the automatic transmission. Another thing is the brakes. It's not like they made the Autobahn trim have like upgraded brakes and stuff like that. The brakes are still the same on this base model here, and the exhaust tips are still the same, and the exhaust still sounds the same. So you can see there. So if you're going for performance and you want the best bang for your buck, the base model is the best way to go, because not only is it technically the lightest trim, it doesn't have the sunroof, so you have a little bit more I don't know, structural, I don't know what you call that, but it might be a little bit more solid without the sunroof. And then also the engine is exactly the same. However, I will mention that the Autobahn trim does have adaptive dampers, or dampening, or whatever they call it, where you can adjust like the way the suspension is if you want it hard or soft. So that is one little difference there. So if you guys want an adjustable suspension, you have to go Autobahn trim. But if you're cool with the suspension that the GTI comes with, which is already a very nice stiff but comfortable suspension, then the S trim is your best bet. All right guys, for number 4, I want to talk about the resale value. So obviously when you buy a new car, you're not immediately thinking about selling it, but in general, the base model trim usually holds the best value, because the purchase price is so low that when you go to resell it, you're not losing as much as if you were to buy like a $41,000 Autobahn trim. I looked online at used GTIs to see like the difference between like a 2018 Autobahn and a 2018 base model, and the difference is really only around like $3,000 or $4,000 as far as like the resale value. The difference between the base and the Autobahn when you buy it brand new versus when you resell it is not that big of a difference. Let's say you don't plan on keeping the car forever, the base trim might be a better bet. Last but not least, kind of leading into number 5, I want to talk about the affordability. So when you want a little hot hatch or fun car, you don't want to break the bank trying to buy it, right? Base GTI start at around $32,000, I believe, and Autobahn trim start around $40,000. So for this kind of car, as much as I love it, I don't know if I love it enough to spend, you know, close to $40,000 or over $40,000 on it. Now a Golf R, that's a little bit different, and that's another reason why the Autobahn trim kind of loses a little bit of value, is because it's close in price to the Golf R. Now obviously in today's world with, you know, supply chain shortage and all that stuff, you can't really get a Golf R right now. Like if you look up a Golf R on the internet as I'm shooting this video, you can't find any of them. So you can't really get a Golf R, but when the MSRP is so close to a Golf R, it kind of makes more sense. If you're going to be spending over $40,000 on a Golf, you might as well get the Golf R, right? So that's kind of the way I look at it. So this is 241 horsepower. It's really quick. I have ran it in Mexico versus some pretty good cars, and the GTI does very well. So it's definitely worth it at $33,000. That's what mine was with the red paint, the mirror, and then also the DSG transmission. Mine was around $33,000. So I think it's 100% worth it at that price point. But once you get around 40, I just don't think that, you know, it's worth it when you spend that much money on it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and talk about why I chose this specific car as, or my reasoning behind picking this car over other cars. So if you guys don't know, I have a 2020 Mustang GT, and I wanted a daily driver kind of car. I wanted a car that's going to get good gas mileage, that's going to be fun to drive, something that's going to be practical because my Mustang is a 2-door, and you know, I didn't want something boring and basic. Like I could have got a base model like Toyota Corolla or something like that, but that's not fun at all, in my opinion. If you guys have that car, great, it's reliable, that's cool, but for my purposes, I don't want a car that's like super boring to drive. So I wanted something that was going to be fun to drive. I wanted something that wasn't going to break the bank. And originally I was looking at a Civic Si, because I was like, okay, you know, it's manual transmission, it'll be fun to drive, great gas mileage. But Civic Si's are really hard to get right now, and I still have one technically on order, or like reserved, whatever you want to call it. It's not really like available right now for a good price, and I'm not going to spend over MSRP for a Civic Si. Even though I get it, the market is there for it right now, but I'm not going to spend over MSRP for a SI. But after doing more research and after looking at more options, I realized that the GTI offers so much more than the SI does, because this one is way faster than the SI. You have a really good automatic transmission. It sounds good. It's a hatchback, so that's a little bit more practical than a sedan. And I just overall love everything about this car. And you know, I figured since it is going to be a daily driver, maybe it makes more sense to get an automatic than a manual transmission. And guess what? The GTI has one of the best automatics you can get, in my opinion. I think the DSG, the Porsche PDK, ZF 8-speed, I think those are all like really good transmission. I'm really happy with the price point. I'll go over a video going over like what I paid for the GTI and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my reasoning in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Actually, let's do a poll real quick. Sport mode. Oh my gosh, the gears are pretty long actually. It's surprising. Wow. This little car gets up and goes, I tell you. And I still get like great gas mileage driving this thing. I consistently get over 30 miles per gallon. I'm really happy with the purchase, and I will keep you guys updated on my journey owning this GTI. See you guys in the next one.